Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at how to identify the sides so that we can use the basic trig ratios. So one thing we need to identify the sides is we need to know the reference angle. So when you look at a right triangle, you have your right angle, and the other two angles could be your reference angle. And it'll be different each time. Sometimes you're going to find the reference angle by looking at this symbol right here. And that symbol is the Greek letter theta. And it's used to represent our angle. Okay? So you notice both of these angles have that theta. Sometimes they'll put a number in there. They'll tell you what the degrees were. You know, it was a 49-degree angle or a 30-degree angle. Other times, our reference angle is based on the actual name of the angle. So for my triangle here, the reference angle was the angle F. Now, we have three sides to our triangle. There's the hypotenuse, and our hypotenuse will always be straight across from your right angle. It will be the longest side of your triangle. So this here is your hypotenuse. Now it doesn't matter what your reference angle is, your hypotenuse will always be the same side. The next two sides we're going to name the opposite and the adjacent. Now those will change based on the angle. So if I look at my top triangle, the F is my reference angle, so I'm going to highlight the two sides of that angle. Now the side I did not highlight is your opposite side. Okay. Now if I look at the second triangle, the reference angle is D. It's the other side. So do it again. If I highlight the two sides of angle D, the side that's left over is my opposite. Now I still have a side, and notice that this one is attached to my angle. It's one of the sides of my angle. And this one is your adjacent angle. Or adjacent side, sorry. Okay? So your adjacent will be a side of your angle. Okay, so let's identify those pieces in different triangles. So let's look at these four examples. I've identified the reference angle in the top two by circling the letter. So if I were to highlight the sides of my reference angle, that would leave this to be my opposite side. Straight across from my right angle would be the hypotenuse. And then the other side of my angle is the adjacent. So if I highlight the sides of my reference angle, which is R on this one, that would make this side here the opposite. This side here, the longest side of my triangle, is the hypotenuse. And the other side of my angle is your adjacent side. Now I'd like you to pause the video and look at these last two examples and identify the highlighted line. Note this time the reference angle is given to you either with the variable x or with the actual degrees. Okay, now that you're back, let's check your work. So first I'm going to highlight. If this is my reference, then these two are the sides of my reference angle. So that means the highlighted is a side of my angle. Well, straight across from the right angle is the hypotenuse, so this one here must be the adjacent. So it is the adjacent side. When I look at the other one, if we highlight our angle, well, the side that is highlighted is not part of the angle. So that's going to make it the opposite side. Now, once you're able to identify the different pieces of your triangle, you're able to use your trig functions. So check into the next video to see what those trig functions are.